Sure, Dreamcast is making grinding noises, squeaking noises, jerking noises. Does it sound like a rotary engine? Well, then this fix is for you. Hello YouTube land, it is I, Doomy Doomer, and I'm back with another console fix. Today we're going to look at the Dreamcast. The motors in these things have always been loud. They've never been quiet, even brand new. But we're going to try to make it sound a little less crazy. Because right now mine, it sounds like grinding. It sounds like just nastiness. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this apart. And I'm going to try to quiet that down. And what we're going to need is a number 1 Phillips. Some synthetic grease. This is super lube, but I believe it's the it's like a silicone grease. You don't want to use anything petroleum based. Some Q-tips. You're going to break them in half and apply it to the gears, and also toothpicks to do the same thing. Lastly, you'll probably want some alcohol in case you get it places you don't want, or if you want to clean the inside while you're in there, and a paper towel so we don't scratch the case. Alright, so we're going to break this down, and we'll be back. Okay, once those are all loosened, they're probably going to be stuck in there, so you're going to want to shake them out. Put them aside. The darker screws are for the case. Now when you open this up, you're going to want to pop the tray or the lid first. Because of this mechanism back here, you don't want to mess up anything back there, and if you pull it the wrong way, you could damage it. So just put that aside. Alright, so there's some nasty bits here with the power supply, and these capacitors do hold voltage, especially since I just had this thing plugged in. So what you want to do is you want to unplug this here. You undo this screw. There's one other screw, I believe, on the American one. Yeah, right here. This is on the US model. The other models might have a different power supply, depending on where you are in the world. I believe that's the last screw. Okay. So this bit right here is where all the power comes out from the power supply and goes to the components. That's what this is right here. So some components get 12 volts, 5 volts, 3 volts, whatever. So that's going to give some friction. You want to pop this here, this tab here, and wiggle this out, and from the sides grab it and pull straight up, and it should just come right out. Put that aside, not touching any of the components. This is a shield, I believe it's like a heat shield. There's the loud fan. Check that out. That 30mm, 25mm fan is loud. Okay, the next thing we want to do, we want to come around here. We want to... Oh, look at all that dust. We want to unhinge these wires gently underneath this little tab here, on both of these tabs. And we want to do that to free the laser lens and arm mechanism. And careful, because these wires do look rather low gauge. And once those are free, what you want to do, you want to rock back gently the laser mechanism all the way back. And then pop this up, main thing, off of its grommets, these rubber grommets. And what we're going to do is we're going to get something to support this as we flip it over, so we can gain access to what we need to grease up. I'm just going to put it right there. Okay. So, get a little closer here. These are the bits we're going to grease. These gears here. Here. This right here. And then back further. This travel arm right here. Doesn't really need grease, but I don't think it'll hurt. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And again, I'm using synthetic grease, and it's a it was a lithium-based grease, I believe. Kind of synthetic. Again, don't use anything petroleum-based because that would be really, really bad. So I'm going to apply. Let's see if I can get a focus here. I'm going to apply the grease to the toothpick. See how that works. And then I'm just going to dab it on these gears, these plastic gears. And you only have to do one side, really, because you're going to turn the gears. And you don't want to overdo it with the grease, because you don't want grease, an over an amount of grease going in throughout this this movement here, these movements of the gears. But you're going to turn them, you'll see, and this one, it looks like a lot, but it's not right now. Okay. And the important thing to remember is to not get this anywhere near the laser or to touch the laser. Again, I'm going to put some right on this arm here, this rail. Now, moving back to the main motor gears here, I'm going to manually turn them slightly, work these around. That looks pretty good. Alright. Now I'm going to reassemble everything. Pretty much backwards how I did it, how I started. Next we want to bring back the power supply and the shield that goes underneath it. That goes right there, just like on the Saturn. In fact, this whole thing is very much like the Saturn. Again, being very careful with the power supply because these things hold voltage and you don't want to get zapped. And if you are afraid of getting zapped, you probably shouldn't do this in the first place. Probably should get a professional to do it for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. There we go. It sits down there nicely. And there were 2 screws that went here. Or one went here, rather. Make sure they're nice and tight, but not over tight. Pretty much everything else, just like everything else. Don't want to strip the screws. Okay, that part's good. Now you want to make sure, don't forget to re-plug in your mains here, or the main line. Now we're going to put the lid back on, same way it came off. Lining up this annoying front piece here. You can then close the lid, flip it around, and repeat putting the screws, the black screws, back into the 4 spots. Alright, that's it. Let's get this baby plugged back in and hooked up and see how it sounds. Okay, I am back, and I'm going to be trying out D2 on my Dreamcast, which I have been playing, actually. So let's see how it sounds. Should probably replace that that battery. Wow. I mean, it's still Dreamcast loud, but it is much quieter. It's amazing what a little grease can do. All right, well, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you have this problem with your Dreamcast, if you don't even think it's a problem, let me know. See you in the next one.